What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I'm going to have some fun with this one, but I wanted to try and present the argument as to why I think Lux Vega is actually worth it when you think about, the summoner and how it's going to be used, all the benefits that you get versus, and I'll show you in a second, versus getting a similar type of summoner set, right, from Chaos Legion. So you look here, you can get a Lux Vega. It's fully maxed out, loaded, and ready to go for about 700 bucks on the marketplace right now. There's only 11 of them available, and you can see here that, after there's 2 for about 700, and then from there it goes up just a little bit. Now, to compare this, I am going to present to you a set of summoners here that are the rare Chaos Legion set summoners, and I'm going to do max level. Now, here's the fun part. All right, when taking a look at this, right, if you were to use all of these, or if you were to buy all of these cards, 171 for max copy, I'm looking at gold specifically for one reason. Because you get the 10% boost with Lux Vega, that's equivalent to a 10% boost for gold. So using a selection of these 5, right, at gold level is going to run you about the same. Now, these 5 combined, if you were to buy all of the lowest, lowest BCX available, or not lowest BCX, but the max copies that are available right now, if you add all these up, it's about 600 bucks. So you're saving about $100. You do have gold foil available to you, but at the end of the day, you don't have that diversity and that versatility. I'm sorry, you do have diversity, but you don't have that versatility that you get with a card like Lux Vega. Now, again, I know I'm not going to convince many people, and actually I would love to hear your thoughts on why this wouldn't be a good case, but I'll present the cons. First of all, Lux Vega is not good for Little League, whereas you can use all of these cards for Little League. So anytime you have a Little League game, you might be out of luck. The other part to this as well is you don't get the diversity of different types of attacks, or not attacks, but buffs or debuffs. You get the same thing across the board with Lux Vega. It's just 1+ health, plus armor, and 1+ speed. Now, here's my final pitch, right? Now that we've gotten some of the cons out of the way, and I'm sure people will have many others. Here's my final pitch for somebody that has owned Lux Vega since it came out last year. My main thing is that the meta right now for the game is water is one of the most powerful, most powerful in the entire game when it comes to elements. The monsters in there are just so freaking good. And you can see that Lux Vega is very similar to Kalia Frendul. For an additional mana, you get the +1 health, which can sometimes be the difference. So what am I saying here? Well, the main thing is that whenever I use Kalia, I don't. Actually, let me phrase that better. Whenever I'm thinking about using Kalia, or whenever I'm thinking about using water specifically, I just automatically opt into Lux. And there are very few times where I look at this, and it usually be like small, like low mana games, where I'll be like, you know what, let me just go back to Kalia because I need that 1 extra mana to throw a monster, maybe a 1 mana monster in there. But for the most part, in a lot of games, I end up opting for the water splinter. And so therefore, I find myself using Kalia or Lux Vega in place of Kalia very often. Now, on top of this, what is the other advantage for Lux Vega? You are able to stretch. If you're not playing in Diamond yet, you don't have to buy all the different summoners. You can just have one summoner. And granted, that summoner would be the equivalent of, more than the equivalent of buying all these summoners anyway. But again, I'm just trying to sell you on why Lux Vega has been tremendous for me. Now, at the end of the day, you could just go and probably solve the same thing or get like 90% of the benefits that I'm talking about with Lux Vega by just getting a gold foil Kalia Frendul, right? If you go and you just get a gold foil Kalia Frendul, then you will be using water a majority of the time. You'll get that 10% bonus for Kalia being gold versus Lux being a promo. And so that might be something to consider as well. But from a collector's perspective, from a rarity perspective or scarcity perspective, there's just not many Lux Vegas out there. So that's my pitch. I'm curious to know how people feel about this. Again, this is not financial advice. This is maybe game advice if you want to consider it game advice. But for those who own Lux Vega or maybe have rented Lux Vega, do you agree or disagree with the sentiment? Do you find yourself using Lux Vega in place of Kalia Friend Duel, frequently, which I do? And would you consider Lux Vega to be one of the better kind of investments? I want to stay away from that word. One of the better cards and summoners out there when compared to the other ones here, like Obsidian, Thaddeus Brood, Tarsa, and General Sloan. There are many times where the +1 armor, the +1 health, and the +1 speed, well, actually, +1 armor and +1 health will always come in handy. The +1 speed may not be useful in a reverse speed rule set, but the +1 health, right? +1 armor, maybe there's a no armor game or whatever it is. But the kind of like dependability of having that summoner has been huge for me. And granted, it's more out of necessity for me rather than, me having maxed out summoners across the board that I can just go pick and choose. But I've been able to play in Diamond 2 into Diamond 1, even after the changes, with using Lux Vega as one of my primary summoners. Now, we're not counting Dragon here, so that's why I'm just looking at Lux Vega compared with all of the other elements, but I'm curious to get your thoughts. How do you feel about how do you feel about Lux Vega, or if you are considering, would that be something that would be a selling point for you? Now, granted, at the end of the day, if you are on a limited budget and you just are looking to buy cards, well, then don't even go for the gold foils. Don't worry about the 10% bonuses. Go and fill out your deck. But if you're in the position where you want to consider getting one, I think that there is a strong argument because the 10% bonus is going to compound every single time you use the card. And the only way you're going to get that is if you have gold foil summoners across all of the other splinters or all the other elements. But that's my thought there. Just want to share it with you guys, have some fun with this. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.